So we recently moved and it is now time for me to set up my bookshelves. As you can see, I have a lot of books here which we are going to organize, put together onto these shelves behind me. Honestly, my shelves are a bit munted. Don't know how many close-ups you're actually going to see of my shelves, but I thought it could be fun to do a little bookshelf organization video because it's been a while since I've done one. I did one a few years ago where I like tier ranked my books, if that makes sense. Like I had my favorites on my top shelves and then like it went down the shelves and like my least favorites were at the bottom. But since then we moved to our last apartment and I didn't end up showing you guys what my bookshelves were like in our last apartment. This is the next apartment after that. Does that make sense? Not that there was really any like reasoning to the way that I organized them in the last apartment, but seeing as I didn't show you guys what my bookshelves were like then, I also did change them a couple of times. I thought it could be fun to give you guys like an updated bookshelf organization video, and I also really want to count how many books I have now. I think the last time that I did this I had around like 150 books. I think that's how many I had in my last bookshelf organization video. I'll go back and double check and I'll put the actual number on the screen, but I know that I have definitely bought more books since I filmed that video. Oh, I will say though, hang on. I do have this box that is full of books, and these are all books that I plan on getting rid of. I just currently can't get rid of them because we're like in level 3 lockdown. I don't think anywhere that I want to like give these books away are actually open or taking books currently. So this is a pretty decent sized box full of books that I will not be counting in my book count because I'm just going to end up getting rid of them. Mostly in this box there are, I know for a fact, I have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard in here because I never really loved that series and I got sick of seeing it on my shelves, if we're being honest. I have a few books in here that I have like double copies of, that I have newer copies of, so I'm like getting rid of the older copies. Books that I got for like school or university that I no longer need, and I think a bunch of YA books that I no longer want on my shelves. I don't plan on reading again in the future, that kind of stuff. If you want me to do like an actual unhaul video, let me know, I can do that. But I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a box of books that I will not be unpacking in this video, and honestly kind of relieved that I don't have to unpack these because as you can see, I already have enough to deal with as is. So I was thinking to start with, before I put anything on my shelves, I would go through all of these, sort them out into series and like genre, just kind of get some organization to this massive dumpster pile. I already have, you can see here, some books are here. I already have a stack of books. These are all for a video that I want to do in December for Christmas. Last year for Christmas I bought myself a mystery box of books, secondhand books, but because we live in New Zealand I bought them in like December, but they didn't get here until like February this year or something like that. So couldn't do it for last Christmas, so plan on doing it for video this Christmas. So I already have all of these books in a pile here because I just like, I've kept them in the pile since I have got them. So at least that's organized. I'm wondering if I should maybe move you guys, the camera, so you can kind of see the groupings that I get together. Maybe that's a good idea. You know, this kind of doesn't look any better, but YA, romance, fantasy, general lit slash classics, books from my childhood, which I'll probably just put on a bottom shelf because I never read them, but like I'll keep them. My 2 graphic novels, ended up putting my Shadowhunter books and some of my larger books on the shelves just so they were off the bed because it was kind of hard to organize everything. But oh my gosh, why was that actually kind of difficult to do? Moving all these books around is actually like a workout. I don't know if that's embarrassing for me to say, but anyway. Next, I actually have to organize these books. I still really haven't figured out what order I want to do it in because like I'm thinking options, right? Could do like all the books from my childhood down the bottom, go up YA, then have like all my adult, general fic, all that kind of stuff up the top. Or could go across this way, so like adult, YA, keep the children's books down the bottom. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping all my like books from my childhood down the bottom no matter what happens. But last time I organized my bookshelf, I had one shelf where I just put all my big books, because there are some books, obviously books come in different sizes, and most of my big books are fantasy of some kind, so I have like a big fantasy bookshelf and I want that to go in the middle. I don't know why, I just do. So we're just gonna try set that up. Big books in the middle, that's what I'm doing. We'll see how this goes. I had hardcover. Some of these big books are not like fantasy though, so I don't know what exactly I'm gonna do with those. I am also kind of thinking though about like having a TBR shelf maybe, or even like a book. Like I did also think of doing it where I had like all my unread books on like one side and then all my read books on the other, but I think that's, I don't like the idea of organizing my books like that. I don't know why, that's just not the way. Hardcover big book there. Oh, where's my other Samantha Shining book? Oh my god, that actually fits just like perfectly. These two, Clara and the Sun and the Maidens, don't fit, but that's fine because I think I would technically not put these with like my fantasy books anyway. I'm pretty sure both of those are on my like TBR, so I think having a TBR shelf would be banging. Okay, so I think I figured it out. I think I'm gonna put my like general fiction adult books over and on, like I only have 3 shelves on this shelf, so 3 shelves over here, and then I think I'm gonna put up the top completed fantasy series that I own. I think that's how I'm gonna do it, because this shelf is none of these are all uncompleted series or standalones. So I think next to that I'll put my other uncompleted like fantasy books, and then I'll just fill out the bottom shelves with other fantasy books like leftovers, not my faves, and my childhood books. So I may as well do my Shadowhunter shelf, seeing as I have these books already out. Oh, do I want to go that way or that way? Trying to figure out how this series works across the timeline is very tricky. Just off the top of my head, this is like rocket science, basically. I love when my ideas just don't work. That's what's bugging me, because that is technically not the order that it's supposed to go in. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that for now. I don't think I love it. I always struggle with my Shadowhunter shelf because while I technically, like, I own all the books almost in all the same format, they're still all different sizes and it's so frustrating to work with. Why don't I get all my romance books? Just stack them here for now. Some of them are in series, some of them are not. Is that really all I have? This is upsetting to me. Oh no, because I'm going to put those there as well. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Let me get my mystery stack of books. I don't really want you guys to see this because I'm technically doing these for a video. I'm doing these for a video, and I kind of like the idea of having a secret TBR. But I do need to organize them. I have a really awesome selection from this like mystery box. I'm so excited to do a video. And then I have 2 bigger romance books, which is 7 Days in June and The Soulmate Equation. I may as well put these up there like that. I have my Brown Sisters series, which currently the first book, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, my friend has, so I only have 2 of them at the moment. The Hating Game and the Spanish Love Deception. I have a sadly small amount of romance books. I definitely want to own more of them physically because I read so many of them on like Kindle Unlimited. I don't actually own physical copies, but I really want to own more of them. Maybe I might take this out so I want that on my TBR. Let's do my classics next. She's looking full. Not really, barely, but fuller. Maybe I should bring these forward just a little bit so you can actually see them. Other completed fantasy series. I have my Twilight series. I think I'm finally going to take them out of the box they came in because I've taken all my other box sets out. And I actually want to reread these sometime soon, so I'll need to take them out then anyway. Oh, I love these editions so much. I love how minimal they are. Can you even see? Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And with the reds, I'm gonna put these up here. And then up on that shelf, I also had my Six of Crows Crooked Kingdom collector's editions. What else do I have? I also have my all of my Grishaverse books and my and the Cruel Prince. That's what I had. This is how I set up my shelf in the last apartment with all of these books together. How am I gonna take this? Why do they have to go like Midnight Sun like so big? Like so big? Why? This is really difficult. I'm not loving like any of these shelves that I've set up so far except for this. My beautiful big bookshelf. Also my romance shelf is good. The top shelves? No. Not so much. This is like one of the books that I have a double copy of. Chain of Gold. I have the first collector's edition, but I also have it in paperback. I don't have the collector's edition of Chain of Iron. So I don't know if I want to keep this. I think I do because it's special, but I don't know where to keep it. I'm just gonna put it on my big shelf for now. Okay, why don't I leave it like that? Why don't I put these down on another shelf? Why don't we try that? Why don't I put this with my Raven Cycle series? Oh, where are my Mara Daya books? Because I love them. Like that. What books do I usually put with those? Put my Lunar Chronicle books. Oh, and the Hunger Games. And I think those are all my completed series. Oh no, I have these too. Huh, and it like basically fits perfectly, that shelf. I have the like Queen of the Telling trilogy, which I started reading years ago, like when I was so young, and I only started reading it because I heard that Emma Watson was gonna play like the main character in the movie adaptation. The movie adaptation has not happened yet, and I don't think it ever will, but it's the only reason why I read the first one and it was fine, and then I just kept buying the books, and so now I own all of them, and I genuinely would like consider giving them away, but one, I really like owning fantasy books written by women, and two, I actually do think I will want to finish these. Maybe I'll put this on my TBR for like an upcoming month and actually read these. Could be something to do, maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here, and seeing as that's my last like completed fantasy series, I think I will go ahead and put all of the fantasy series, like all of the fantasy books that I have not got the whole like series for. Quite a lot, actually. It's quite a lot. I can't believe I know I'm never going to buy the other Court of Thorns and Roses books because I hated them, but I loved this one, A Court of Mist and Fury. Like, I cried reading this. This is the second one, but it feels so weird only owning one. But I absolutely do not want to buy, like, I do not want to invest any money into the first or the third book. If I happen to get them, I happen to get them, and that'll be great. I'll have a complete series on my shelf, but I just love this, and I only bought this so I could get free shipping with a bunch of other books that I bought, so that's the only reason why I have this one. It's kind of annoying because it's just going to be on its own forever. unless I luck upon the other books in the series, which I don't think I will. The green covers, like I love the color green, but the green covers on that are kind of ugly, not gonna lie. I have my almost completed Poppy War series, almost. I have this book, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I've owned this for ages, and recently, like I think this came out ages ago, but recently I've heard a lot of people picking this up and loving it, so I kind of want to buy the rest of the books in the series, binge the whole thing. I feel like this is like, it very much gives me winter fantasy vibes though. I think these are based on like Russian fairy tales or something like that, so I think I might buy, I think it's a trilogy, so I think I might buy the other 2 books and then read these next winter. I think that'll be a really great experience, I think. Oh, first Game of Thrones book, can't forget that. Will I ever read Game of Thrones? Doubt, but I own the first book in case I ever want to. I find it so fascinating, the fantasy to romance reader pipeline. I definitely, like, as like in YA, definitely loved YA fantasy. Like that's why I have so much YA fantasy from when I was a teenager. And I definitely want to get back into fantasy as much as I used to be because it's such a great genre, but it definitely is like, each fantasy book is such a commitment to read, whereas romance is so great. But like, as you can see, my romance shelf is like, is tiny. I've only barely like started my collection because it definitely at the moment, like I feel like my shelves aren't actually a very accurate representation of me as a reader. Like I still own, like I obviously I'm keeping a lot of my favorite books, so accurate in the sense that I love all of these, but they're not like books that I currently am interested in, apart from my romance shelf, which is so tiny. But I definitely want to get more like general literature. I don't know, I just like, sometimes I feel like my shelves are a bit odd or unbalanced, I think is a better word. I feel like I just have so much fantasy and so much of nothing else. I want more of everything else. Do I have any other fantasy books that I need to add? This Queen of Coin and Whispers, oh, Touch of Darkness. This is technically like fantasy romance. This is a standalone YA. This is YA, which I haven't read. I swear I had another book like that. Oh, I forgot about these. That's a standalone. What am I gonna do with my hardbacks? Down here next to my like larger hardbacks. I have like 2 sci-fi books, which I don't know where I'm gonna put. No, 3. No, I have 3 sci-fi books that I don't know where I'm gonna put, and 2 of them are hardcovers. I don't know why I don't have a lot of hardcover books, so I never know what to do with them on my shelves. There's a tiny shelf. That is tiny. Like, I definitely feel like everything that I'm doing right now with these shelves is going to be temporary. I feel like I'm going to change these, like, at least, I feel like I'm definitely going to rearrange some things from time to time. But you know what, that's okay. Maybe this shelf down here could be my TBR underneath my big books. TBR shelf for now can go down here. These 2 are my TBR. Sally Rooney's new book is on my TBR. Oh, The Things We Don't See by Savannah Brown. This is on my TBR. And that's it, really. Oh, no, actually, Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. This is on my TBR. A very small collection of sci-fi books. I used to just have these like resting on top of my big fantasy books, but I don't think that's going to work this time. I'm going to very hesitantly for now put them on this shelf, and I think I'm going to end up moving them, but they can go there for now. I want to recreate a shelf that is really, really beautiful because it's basically just like a whole bunch of like classic general literature books, but I put all my crystals in front of them, and I love the setup that I have, so I want it to be like exactly the same. If I can remember the order that it goes in. Do I have all the light we cannot see? Do I still have that? I do. Okay, what's that? Goldfinch. which I hated. I kind of want to get rid of it, but it looks so good on this shelf that I don't want to get rid of it. I can't remember the other end of my, oh, this goes here, question mark? Yeah, like that. Cool. Hang on. Maybe I'll get rid of these because I'm never going to read them. Okay, so I think it's looking pretty good so far, but if you can see my dilemma, right? This shelf over here is like half full, and I don't know what else to put there because I don't have any other fantasy books or whatever. Who knew organizing books could actually be this this complicated? And then I also have all of these YA books here, which when I last had my bookshelf up, I had all my YA with my romance, but I have like technically a full romance shelf right now. Don't want to like mess with that. So I guess I'm going to be putting my YA over there, which is fine, but it just feels a little bit weird. I don't know. I don't feel like that flows very well. That's a TBR shelf. That's fine. We'll ignore that. And I also have those 3 books there, which don't technically fit in that shelf, even though that is where they belong. I'm already running out of space for like, I need another general literature shelf. But I don't know where to put it. I honestly think for now I might just get those and put them down there. Maybe, for now at least. I've read Malibu Rising, but I technically haven't read The Girls or The Furies, so they technically count as TBR books, so I think I'll put them down there for now. That's fine. And then YA, general YA literature can go there, and hopefully that'll feel fine. I'll try fill out that shelf as well, but then I'm pretty much done. That is it. Those are all of my books that are put on my shelves. So I have 220 books on my bookshelves currently, right now, which is a lot, but that is how I've organized my bookshelves. I'm gonna say for now I will probably end up changing that, but basically I've just kind of organized them by genre. I think I will definitely end up having to rearrange them at some point in the future, but that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've missed you guys. I didn't mean to stop uploading to YouTube. It's just been kind of crazy at the end of September, and also just dealing with lockdown over the whole of September, but I have like lots of videos that I want to get done always, so I hope that I can be back to regularly uploading videos soon. Hopefully things will calm down now that we've moved. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you guys in another one sometime soon. Bye!